All right. So I went and set up a little table here. It seems like a little bit easier to do than mess around like I normally do in the brewery out here. This is the accessory box that came with it. We got our O-rings. Here's some O-rings. We got 2-inch, 1.5 inch. Some feet. 1, 2. There's probably a third one in here, I hope. Sampling port. So here's our sampling valve. Everything's covered. I love that. I love how everything stays covered. O-rings. Didn't really see like that they had a parts list, which was kind of nice to show that they give us a parts list. So here we go. More tri-clamps. I'm gonna have to add a third panel over here, which I think I knew I had to do anyway. We got the tri-clamps. Those are the 1.5 inch. Here's some 2-inch. 2-inch. They kind of looks like they kind of just threw a little bit of accessories in here, but they did wrap it very well. We have our main 4-inch lid. Clamps. Come on. They all do say, they got the little S, the new Spike logo, 1.5 inch TC. It even says TC on the inside. And you got 1.5 inch in here. I like how these come all netted up. If it wasn't so ripped up, you could use it as a hop sock, huh? No. Got a nice ball valves here. Ooh, they turn really well. Ball valve I have on my fermenter, you know, Amazon find. I mean, it seals, but it's a little stiff to turn. This is actually, it gets stiff right there when it's about to close, and then you feel the pop. We got the orange high temp. We got a little, they did look like they sanitized it because there's a little bit of the crystal flakes there from like Star San. Maybe it's food safe grease. All this gets thoroughly washed. Two-inch, 1.5 inch. Got our 90 here. She looks pretty clean. A lot of times you can get some rust in there. I've had a couple Spike racking arms and there's a little bit of rust in there. We have our oh shit caps. I believe this is your 90 for your blow-off tube if you want one. We go there, blow-off tube coming down, you know, just run it into a little bucket. Star San, run your hose down. Here's our third leg. And they threw the TC thermometer. It says TC thermometer. Oh, this is the analog thermometer that comes with it. So yeah, pretty nice looking Spike. That's supposed to go there, but we go digital. So I ordered the 1.5 inch TC port for the Thermowell, TC Thermowell port. So that's what I will be using. So this might, you know, this might look good over here somewhere. Stick it in a hole. Who knows? Use it for turkey bait or something stupid. So this is everything that comes with the CF10 standard lid, band strap, the O-ring for it. Oh yeah, she just fits right on there. I'll be loving it. From there, accessories. These came a day before. I think these were actually shipped ground. They went through Nebraska. We're over here in Huntington Beach. All this came from Wisconsin, went to Chicago. I tracked this thing going through, stopped in Nebraska for a day, and then made it all the way to Barstow, California, and hit their FedEx facility 3 days later in like Fullerton or something. And then I had all this in 4 days. Pretty good. This guy took 5 days, but that flew straight from Chicago to where did it go? It went outside of LA there, and then jumped on another truck at Fullerton and came over in the morning. All right, so inside this accessory box, I bought the CIP ball. So this is an 1.5 inch port CIP ball going there. When you look at it, it seems pretty small. It spins okay. You've only got the 2 slots on it. Your Amazon finds CIP ball, and I put this on a sump pump for cleaning kegs. I got a sump pump that's inside of a 5-gallon container. Turn your kegs upside down. This guy cleans. This is Amazon. I mean, that sucker spins. But after washing, I always rinse this with Star Sand, and because it kind of seems like the soap will gum this up. But if you rinse it and then spray it down or soak it with Star Sand, it helps out the stainless steel. So we'll have to maybe give this a little squirt. Let's see, let's try it right now. A little lube. A little lube in there. Star Sand it, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I could spin a little better. You gotta remember, if your pump ain't that powerful, that's just more force it takes to spin it. But we'll see. We'll see how the pump spins this. Star Sand off of there. So we've got our CIP ball we ordered. This feels like the leg extensions over here. Get rid of the tripping hazards. So they said if you're going to add a sight glass, you really should only need the 9-inch extensions. So I've already got my sight glass and my butterfly valve down there to set up. So we'll see when we put this together if these are tall enough, and hopefully they're tall enough. So we're in for. The one last thing we got in here. Sure, you can buy these cheaper somewhere else, but just go ahead and order them while you're ordering stuff. Get it over with. We've got their casters. Actually, it's pretty good sized casters. Locking. Yeah, locking casters. And then a lot of people don't know this is a toe kick. And if you just kick it, you unlock it. You don't have to bend down and unlock stuff. If it's heavy enough, everything I got in here rolls around. I just give it a little kick. And there you go, release your caster. Put that out of the way. Put it on the floor. Keep your hop sock. And we got our last accessory box here. See what's in here. Quite a bit here. All right, we've got the racking arm. So, with the racking arm, oh, and we've also got our TC thermal well, which is perfect. TC thermal well is going to go in there. We got our racking arm with our positioning right there, and it is in line for racking. Now we'll do racking arm here, and oh yeah, that's going to work out great. Well, it looks like when it's down racked in the down position, you might have a little over a quarter gallon of dead space, which is pretty good. You can also go and get a floating dip tube, put a floating dip tube in here if you really want to do that. You don't have to use the racking arm, which what I've been doing with the Firmzilla here, and the floating dip tube, that works great. This is why I wanted these. So, oh, and they're married together. So they're side by each, twin path, insulated tubing. I like this. You could even, if you wanted to, the tubing that I got from Home Depot, I mean, they have a smaller size that'll fit over the tubing, but I was running individual tubing. They're actually hanging on the back of the Keyser right now. You know, they just wind them up. These guys right here, you can see how they are married together. If you wanted to, you could go get, you know, your hot water heater tubing. You could actually put around this too as well, which is something I might actually do. These are legit. I like this. Yeah, I'm probably going to insulate that more, but they're already insulated and they look great. Good job, Spike. Look at that. This feels like a coil. So, here we go, my third cooling coil. We got the 4-inch cord on top. Actually, it's kind of a smaller coil than what I'm used to. I have the cooling coils for the Firmzillas, and I'll pop that out right now. But we got the 4-inch port here. We are welded on the bottom here. There's not going to be any leaking. You don't have to question this. This is going to be rock solid. So opposed to, that's round, so it's going to want to roll. Let's put this over here safe. Don't roll anywhere. I got over here the temp twisters, and I've already, I already got one in here now. Somehow I got a duplicate in the mail, which is fine. But here's Kegland's temp twister with their push-on fittings, and these have never leaked. They've done great. So compare the two. Yeah, theirs is a little bigger, but for the height, they're equal, and that will fit in there. Got a little skinnier, which is fine, but for the CF10, I put that in there. It's going to sit about right there. That's about 2 inches from the bottom of the cone. Pretty good. With this guy, nice thing is you can move these up and down through the fittings. So whenever your cap is on, depending on how much work you got in there, you can press these down more so that it's actually touching the beer. If you got only a 5-gallon batch, because I can put 5 gallons in there. If I have a 5-gallon batch, I can push this all the way up. If I got 11 and a half, 12 gallons in there, I can raise this up and make sure it's in the middle, which is kind of a nice little feature there. Set that back in line. All right, got the cooling claws. The Spike jacket, the insulated jacket, which it's nice. It takes away the shininess of the conical, but hey, we want to keep our temps, right? That's actually a pretty nice looking jacket. She's gonna fit right in there. There's some Velcro in there for something. You can see where they stitched for the Velcro. Maybe they got little sticky pads that holds it in place. But I kind of think that the holes for the ports, it's gonna hold it in place here. I don't understand what the Velcro is for. So we've got the nice jacket. That's a nice jacket. Put him right here. Look at that. Got a bunch of packaging. And one last box. There. Oh, yeah. Here she is. Ooh, this thing's got some weight to it. So this is the, there you go. This is their spunding valve. They're all-in-one PRV. That's pretty nice. We got a little drain port here. So we'll put our Star Sand in here, or, bourbon, whatever you want to do. With this PRV, it is a spunding valve. Better read. There's no graduations on how much pressure's in here. That kind of sucks. Let's see here. We have a dial. Yep, so here we go. Here's our dial. We are going to screw this in up right here. All right, so we'll put the dial on this side. And then we have a gas post here. So we'll go gas post in the back. Yeah, we'll put gas post in the back so we keep spike out front. We'll put our dial indicator up front. And that's brass. That's a brass fitting. They usually are all brass fittings. It'd be kind of nice if we did have stainless steel fittings. Even on a lot of, even on this guy here, on this dial, that's a brass fitting. That's a press-in brass fitting, which, Star Sand's good for brass, but stainless steel is always better. There we go. We got liquid in there, which is good. So we got a real PRV. So we'll use this as spunding valve. You can keep this closed, so on your first couple of days when you have high crowds and you want to use your blow-off tube, you go ahead and keep this thing closed. So I would go 1.5-inch ball valve, blow-off tube, leave that open, leave this guy closed. It's fully closed, so no CO2 can get out of that. After 3 days and you're done blowing off and high crowds and whatever, it's spitting out into your bucket, you go ahead and close this, and then you can start doing your spunding valve, doing your pressure. Usually your first couple of days you don't want pressure anyway. High crowds, and you don't want the crowds coming out of this thing and gumming this thing up. So it's kind of what I'm going to do. Blow off, first couple of days, wait for that to settle down, watch the bubble start settling down. I'll close that valve, go over here to this guy, listen to it hiss. That's one of the best things. You can hear it hissing, you can go over there, you can smell it, smell your wort. It's awesome. Plus you got your pressure fermentating going. Now with this thing too, so now we're done fermenting and we're cold crashing. So we can go ahead and crash this thing down, to 40 degrees. And since you have your gas port, you just keep your 5 pounds. Well, let's say your pressure fermented to 10 pounds. You go ahead and put 10 pounds on here and keep that pressure in there as you're cold crashing, and then you won't implode your nice CF10. So you always want to have pressure on there so you don't have any suck back, anything like that. You don't want to induce air through a spunding valve or anything else, but usually you'll get collapse. So from there, and then also when you're done and you're done cold crashing, you go ahead and hook up through the racking arm. We will rack off and we will pressure transfer into the kegs. And I always pressure transfer into the kegs. I pressure transfer off of this guy, floating dip tube. I pressure transfer right into the keg. And put my keg on the scale. You can put it on the scale, know your weight of 4.5 gallons, 5 gallons. Hit that number, you know your keg's full. Or after you've cold crashed and you put it in a room temperature keg, you're gonna watch your condensation line come up anyway. So there's just easy ways to do that. That's it, folks. We've got some O-rings here. You can see where the O-rings came from. I think they came with the gas post. Oh, they're just extra O-rings for the gas post. So we have 2 fittings here, actually. So this is a fitting here, and it has one of the O-rings in between it, plugging into the gas post. So, and then it came with an extra O-ring for the post itself. So add that to the collection, O-rings that everybody should have. O-rings everywhere, O-rings everywhere. We'll put that on there. Get this guy put away. Oh, that thing's spinning. Just spin away. It should spin like that, Spike. Maybe this guy will later. Nope. So there it all pretty much is. Everything you need for the CF10 that I think you need, except for the one thing that you really need. So I purchased the Spike glycol chiller. Like I said, that won't be here until the beginning of October. I think today's, September 20th. So I don't know, 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, I will have the chiller. And roll this guy out of here. This CF10 is going to take its spot, and I'm not sure if you can see in the camera, but right here on one of my little rollaway boxes, I will put the glycol chiller. She'll set it to about this height right here. Pump right into it. I have my my temperature controller hanging on the wall. Set my my temps, and she'll go. That's it, folks. Spike, and they're awesome products. I love their products. They make quality products. Like I said before, I had built my own Herm system out of kegels, cut the lids out. I did all my dimpling porty for all my 1.5-inch ports, for the TC ports. I did all that. I've made all my valves, everything like that. The Herm system was nice. I bought the electric 240 controller from the Electric Brewery, Electric Brewing, and I bought the kit. You had to build it yourself. It's like $1,000 cheaper if you build it yourself. So I spent a Christmas building that thing, did my proper wire management. With that controller, especially with the Herm systems, it's like a trigger, and you're going to hit your numbers. You're going to hit your numbers every time. If you know all your numbers through Brewer's Friend or Beersmith or whatever, and you dial your system in, you're going to hit your numbers every time. And with this guy, I hit my numbers. My mash efficiency is lower. I think it's like 65%. On my Herm system that I built, my mash efficiency was up to, I think, 85%. But with your mash efficiency low, that just means you got to buy more grain. I'm not sparging. You're just pulling up. I don't press on the grain, anything like that. Brewer's Friend calculates it, said that's my mash efficiency, and my brew house efficiency. So that's what I leave it at. I don't press on the grain. I don't try and squeeze the bag. I don't rinse. I just follow the app, follow the instructions. You hit your numbers. You want 5.2%. If you follow it, you're going to get 5.2%. It might cost you $7 more in grain, but that's it. It might cost you a little bit more in hops, but that's it. Just follow the recipe. You'll be fine. Learn your brew system. Learning this thing is not going to be very hard. It's basically just a fermenter, keep your temp, don't introduce oxygen, make sure nothing leaks. A lot of people have said there's a lot of ports on this thing. I think they said there was like 14 ports or something like that, 14 different connections. You know, you even got connections here and there. You know, maintain your stuff, keep everything clean. When you wash, you know, wash these by hand. I soak everything in Star San in a 5-liter bucket. I pull everything out of the 5-liter bucket and place them in as I go, straight out of the Star San. So when I do that, I can feel if there's imperfections on anything like that. You'll feel it in your hands. You know, you feel it with your bare hands. Don't use gloves. Star San won't hurt you. Feel that when you put a fitting on. You feel that. Put them together. Put your clamp on. Get it hand tight. You can get a wrench or whatever, screwdriver. Just give it a quarter turn. These things won't leak. I mean, TC fittings just don't leak if you do them right. I mean, the big breweries do it. Why not? Why not us? Well, let's put this thing together.